Welcome to Comeet. I'm Devin and I'll be your tour guide today. Just one note before we get started. Yes, Comeet is simple to use, but it's not what you would call a simple system. Under the hood is a ton of functionality and automation that we simply can't cover in a 15-minute video. The best way to get to know Comeet is to contact our sales team with questions or to schedule a full demo. You can contact us at team@comeet.co. So before showing you the platform, I want to first explain how we're different, why we exist, and how we help. At Comeet, our focus is to replace the pain of unbalanced recruiting with the joy of collaborative recruiting. Whether you're currently using an ATS or spreadsheets, chances are that recruiting at your company looks something like this. Very messy and very busy. The people in the middle, typically recruiters or those serving in the recruiter role, are swamped. They're often the sole link between everyone and everything. Since recruiting encompasses hundreds of individual tasks of varying importance and urgency, lots of documents, files, and web addresses, plus coordination and scheduling activities, there's inherent friction, inefficiency, and stress. We are well into the 21st century, and there should have already been a software solution for all of this. Comeet is that solution. Instead of one recruiter in the middle of everything, we put technology and intelligence in the middle. One system serving as a central hub for all the people, feedback, data, tools, interview notes, and activities. What software should handle is taken off your plate. What should be automated has been, either entirely or partially. The stuff software can't do, like reviewing a resume or preparing for an interview, has been greatly improved. For our demo, we need a storyline, and here it is. My company is looking for an additional software developer to work under our software development manager, Nicole. We have a hiring team whose members have specific roles probably similar to your company or places you've worked before. I'm Phil, the recruiter for this position. Our HR director, Jamie, is overseeing everything. Our lead software engineer, Pam, will host some late-stage interviews. Our timeline to fill this position is 4 weeks, and we're inviting an external agency, our friends at Better Recruiting, to help us. Let's begin. This is Comeet's dashboard. It's what you see every time you log in. In the center is a list of my assigned tasks or my recruiting to-do list. Tasks are automatically assigned based on roles and the workflow created for a position. On the left is a list of open positions. Before we start with our recruiting example, let's view a candidate profile. This is Jeremy. At the top is the workflow that's unique to this position. You can see that he's at the initial interview stage. All of Jeremy's info is here, instantly accessible. You can see his LinkedIn photo, source, LinkedIn profile, resume, answers to any questions on the application, cover letter, and all of the social media links the system has uncovered. In this section, you can see a summary of everything that has been completed. Returning to the scenario I described earlier, let's hire a software engineer. I start the process by adding a position. Every position has a unique email address that can be customized. When an email and attached resume are sent to this address, Comeet creates a candidate profile using the info from the resume, and the candidate is then added to the workflow. Comeet provides default workflows that you can customize as much as you want, initially and later on for the whole position or individual candidates. Adjusting workflows is drag and drop simple. This is how I can add a late-stage cultural fit interview for Pam and a manager CV screen for Nicole. We'll make other adjustments and choose which formats each step should take: go, no-go, interview, or administrative. I'm also adding Alex as the coordinator and our HR director, Jamie, as a manager. To help the interviewers remain focused during their time with candidates and avoid rambling conversations about sports or music, I'm adding a set of specific questions for each interview. Description, requirements, check. You can also create a set of questions for the application and attach it to the position. Since we already specified EEOC compliance in the company settings, we don't have to add these questions because they'll appear in the application automatically. Moving to sourcing. It's time to find candidates. Let's publish the position and invite candidates to apply. With Comeet, there are a lot of different ways to promote openings and receive applications. Most candidates apply through careers pages, and there are 3 ways to connect to Comeet. If you want a ready-made, out-of-the-box careers page, use Comeet's hosted page, which can be launched in minutes. If you have a WordPress site, it's simple to integrate our WordPress plugin. Our API offers a third option, and here's an example. When you start using Comeet, the first thing we'll help you do is set up your careers page. We highly recommend integrating a Comeet careers page because it keeps your recruiting process synced and your candidate experience seamless. You can add and update positions in real time, receive and sort applications, and track sourcing, whether they come from ZipRecruiter, Monster, or LinkedIn. Speaking of LinkedIn, adding a candidate with Comeet's Chrome extension takes all of 3 clicks, so you can avoid those 2 painful words, copy and paste. Comeet is integrated with many of the top job boards that you're probably already using. Here's how I can post to Indeed, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter, and others. We're also connected socially. I'll share this position on my company's Facebook page. I'm hoping Better Recruiting, the agency we work with, will send us a few candidates, so I'll send them a note. Our referral program enables anyone, employees, friends of the company, customers, to instantly create and share unique trackable links and enable management to share incentives. It's day number 2 for this recruiting project. I've received several email notifications from Comeet, and I have 24 pending tasks, all of which are initial CV screens. This candidate has applied through our careers page via Indeed, while this candidate came from Glassdoor. For this candidate, Comeet found his Facebook, Tumblr, and AngelList profiles. He looks promising, so we'll give him a go. I'll click on this button because I want to review every candidate first, rather than proceeding to the next stage for this candidate. Day number 3, another 24 hours has passed. Nicole has moved several candidates to the first interview stage. Comeet is integrated with G Suite, Outlook, and Office 365, so I can email candidates from within Comeet. I sent this candidate several time slots for an interview, and we've agreed on one. The candidate receives an invite, and as the owner of this stage, I'll receive an invite as well. It's interview time. I've received a reminder and called the candidate. My question list was prepared a couple of days ago, but I can always add questions as I go. Structuring my interview in this way ensures I maintain a level playing field for each candidate, I take good notes, and most importantly, I avoid getting sidetracked. After the interview, I rate the candidate qualitatively and quantitatively, then provide an overall recommendation. As you've already noticed, Comeet is a lot different than other recruiting systems. It's the perfect balance of structure, automation, and flexibility. First example. Let's say I'm leaving soon on a 3-week vacation. I've earned it, but I still have a number of tasks that I need to take care of. In most cases, this would be a huge headache. With Comeet, I can quickly reassign a single step or every step and give my tasks to someone else. Here's another scenario. Let's say Joe applies for an IT support engineer position but doesn't get it. Several months later, he applies for a DevOps engineer position using the same name, a slightly different resume, and a different email address. Comeet recognizes similarities between his phone number and last name. A duplicate check step is created and assigned to the position's lead recruiter. This is just one of the many smart automation features that are present within Comeet. We saw how Comeet fulfills day-to-day hiring needs, but how does it help companies improve their hiring efforts over time? The answer is through reporting. Comeet enables you to measure and better understand the success of your company's recruiting efforts. In our analytics section, you'll find all the functionality you need to track the metrics or KPIs that matter most. Understand what's working and what isn't. Then identify opportunities for improvement. Here are a few examples. How long does it take on average to hire candidates company-wide and per department? How many candidates has our sales team rejected in the past month, and how many are in progress? What percentage of candidates were given a yes at each stage? We call this our funnel report. Are my teammates staying on task? And who is the most busy? How many candidates have applied to work at my company in June, and where did they apply from? Comeet reports are as granular as you want, and everything is exportable. Speaking of numbers and data, if you believe that hiring is or should be a team activity, look at these numbers. When 20 or 30% of a company's workforce and 100% of those involved in hiring are actively using our recruiting software, it means your job as a recruiter is a whole lot easier. Comeet will create and enforce structured recruiting. In no time, teams can create requisitions that order and distribute tasks automatically. Everyone can log in and stay engaged. Nothing will be forgotten or fall through the cracks. Your entire hiring team will know exactly what's going on, who's responsible for what, and what the deadlines are. You'll see huge increases in accountability, visibility, and efficiency, which ultimately means you'll spend less aggregate time recruiting. You'll also have a lot more data, information, and feedback from which to choose the best candidate. The benefits of Comeet are real, and you don't have to take my word for it. After watching this, I invite you to spend some time on our customers page. When customers describe our recruiting software as life-changing, it means we must be doing something right. So how about recruiters, hiring managers, and other contributors? How do we benefit them in particular? Let me quickly touch on how Comeet benefits individual members of hiring teams courtesy of the feedback from some of our customers. Sisense is a business intelligence software company that is growing like crazy. It has 360 plus employees and a hugely experienced head of HR who wants a high level view at all times. Comeet gives Nerit every report she needs with data and insights she can't get by looking at numbers on an Excel sheet. If you're a recruiter and ease of use is high on your list, how does the iPhone of recruiting sound? Start using Comeet and it won't take long to think of Comeet as an indispensable and very friendly virtual assistant. SodaStream's former global recruiting manager, Michelle Lubovsky, even went as far as to compare her mobile life with Apple and her recruiting life with Comeet. With close to 2,000 employees, almost 10 full-time recruiters, and an average of 50 to 60 requisitions open globally at any time, the ROI of accountability, transparency, and efficiency is huge for her and the CFO. For hiring managers, task automation, easy delegation, and having everything organized and immediately available in one place means they can spend a lot less time on recruiting. They can review, delegate, act, and repeat. If we want an example of efficiency, let's look at Erez, who reviewed 150 resumes in a single afternoon. If you find yourself in a similar position on a Saturday afternoon, let's just say that Comeet will help you make it in time for dinner. Depending on the status, size, and maturity of a company, founders can play a large role in recruiting. This is the case with Refuel 4, winner of Facebook's 2016 Innovator of the Year award for the creative category, and a solution for companies like IBM, Spotify, Lyft, and PayPal. Ithamar is in charge of revenue, and he's short on time. Really short. Comeet, with all of its automation, semi-automation, and workflow-based efficiencies, is his best response to time-crunched recruiting. Refuel 4, Amira, SodaStream, and Sisense are 4 companies among the hundreds that have started using Comeet since we launched in 2015. So our 15 minutes is up, but as I mentioned at the beginning, there is much more to Comeet than we have seen here. I'm sure you have questions, including these listed, so give us a call or book a time on our calendar. Thank you for watching.